There's a difference between tribulation and the wrath of God. This is where a lot of Christians go wrong in believing in a pre-tribulation rapture. They think that the tribulation is the wrath of God and that they're going to be taken off the earth before the wrath of God comes. But this isn't true, and I'm going to prove it in Revelation 6. Revelation 6 is all of the seals and is what starts tribulation. You've got the first seal, which is the Antichrist, and you've got war, famine, and death that follow the Antichrist. These are all a result of the Antichrist because the Bible tells us he makes war on the saints and overcomes them. And when he makes this war, a result of the war is famine, and another result of the war is death. So he's given power over the saints and to overcome them. Then you get to the fifth seal, the cry of the martyrs who are under the altar of God. These are the ones who were just killed by the Antichrist, and they ask God, "How long, O Lord, holy and true, until you avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?" The white robe was given to them, and they were told that they should rest a little bit longer until their fellow brothers and sisters were killed as they were is completed. What God is saying here is, let this Antichrist finish doing what he's doing on the earth, finish killing the saints through tribulation, and I'm going to send my son to open up a can, and I will avenge your blood then. So you've got to notice all through all of these seals, there's still no sign of his wrath, nowhere. We'll go over some of the wrath of God, and if you know anything about the wrath of God, you know that you haven't seen any in the seals yet. What we are seeing in these seals is the Antichrist doing. Here's where it gets really obvious that the seals and tribulation is not the wrath of God. Revelation 6, in the sixth seal, we're told this. Before I read it, we got to remember, what did God just tell them under the altar to do? That rest a little bit longer, and then he'll avenge their blood once the Antichrist is finished. Alright, now the Antichrist war on the saints is finished. Now look what happens next. I looked, and he broke the sixth seal, and behold, there was a great earthquake. We're about to see the difference in God's wrath and tribulation. Tribulation is not God's wrath. The sun became as black as sackcloth made of hair, and the moon became like blood. The stars fell from heaven to the earth. The sky was split apart like a scroll when it's rolled up, and every island and every mountain was moved out of its place. What you're listening to right now is God just now told Jesus to go avenge their blood. You're listening to the second coming of Christ immediately after tribulation is over, just like he told us in Matthew 24:29 through 31. And at this point, immediately after tribulation, whatever Christians made it through tribulation, this is the point they'll be raptured away. Because there is no pre-tribulation rapture. It is not biblical. Now listen to what all the people who were left behind do. They go and hide themselves in the rocks in the mountains, and they say, "Fall on us and hide us from him who sits on the throne." Now watch this. "And from the wrath of the Lamb, for the great day of their wrath has come, and who is able to stand?" Notice that it tells us plainly his wrath comes after tribulation. Alright, now we'll go over a little bit of the wrath of God. Imagine you're left on this earth, and there was already a major earthquake that done moved every mountain and island out of its place. There's chaos already going on. First trumpet sounds, and there is hell mixed with fire, mixed with blood, and it's thrown to the earth. As if it couldn't be bad enough already from the earthquake, a third of the earth is burned up. And that's just the beginning. We still have the rest of the trumpets and the rest of the bowls to go through. I'm not going to read every single one of them, but I think you're starting to get the drift that tribulation wasn't even close to the wrath of God. Second angel sounded, and something like a great mountain burning with fire was thrown into the sea, and a third of the sea became blood. It's only two of the seven trumpets, and to keep this video a little bit shorter, I'm just going to go into a couple of the bowls now. First angel poured out his bowl into the earth, and a harmful, painful sword came upon those who took the mark of the beast, and on whoever worshipped the beast. Third angel poured out his bowl into the rivers and the springs of the water, and they all became blood. There's not going to be anything to drink. Fourth angel poured out his bowl on the sun, and it was given power to scorch people with fire. Can you imagine just walking around outside and the sun being so hot it could catch you on fire? This earth is not a place that you want to be on during the wrath of God. That's why I try to stress to y'all the importance that we should not fear this Antichrist one bit. All he can do is destroy our body. When that time comes, be willing and ready to die for Jesus, because you do not want to be here during the wrath of God. If you bow down and worship him and you don't die for Jesus, you're just making yourself have to stay here to go through God's wrath. So when this time comes, die for Jesus. There's nothing worth staying on this earth for. All you're going to do is make yourself go through the wrath of God, which is a million times worse than anything the Antichrist could have ever done to you.